Good morning, and thank you for joining us here at the Children's Advocacy Center. We want to wish everybody a happy new year, and we also want to give thanks for the previous year. We had a tremendous outpouring of support for our children. We were able to, when I say we, I mean the community and our partners, were able to provide toys for over 1,500 children here in the 19th Circuit. So we're thrilled that we can care for these children in that manner. We also want to thank Lavender Light. They are huge supporters of the Children's Advocacy Center. And for those of you that don't know, they provide stuffed animals that are filled with calming lavender that can help children kind of recover from trauma. They've been supporters of us for a very long time. And if you follow us on our social media, you'll see clips and excerpts from them coming to the Advocacy Center, continuously supporting us, bringing the stuffed animals for our children to walk away with. So we're very grateful for what they provide to us here. And one of the most important things we do here is support families. I know we're the Children's Advocacy Center, but a child is not a silo. There's many other factors involved with the child's life, and we're here to support that as well. And joining us today is our family advocate, Marnie. And Marnie's going to talk to us about how she continues to support the children and their families after a crisis, and if they need some guidance on how to navigate the whole process, Marnie's here for you. So, hi, Marnie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to have you with us this morning. Thank you for joining us. I know you're super busy. The family's needs never end, so you're constantly working on that. Marnie, how long have you done this kind of work?
Going on 19 years now.
Wow.
19 years. Yeah.
That's amazing to have somebody deep-seated in the community supporting families and doing this kind of work.
Yep.
I know that we met years ago, and we talk about how our work is a small world, and we are always kind of plugged into the same families, the same situations, whether we're doing the same work or not, or have the same title. So it's all related. Yeah. And I'm very grateful to have spent the last year with Marnie here together at the Advocacy Center. I enjoy her, and she's just one of the biggest inspirations we have for her passion for what she does. And the families are grateful as well. So, Marnie, how does this work? Everybody knows children come here to the Advocacy Center for sexual trauma, great bodily harm through the 19th Circuit, through Department of Family. So you're a family advocate, though. We know we have child advocates. We have advocates in every department. But in particular, a family advocate, I like that a lot. You're advocating for the entire unit.
Family,
and generally that consists of a non-offending parent who's struggling, who maybe had a partnership with a partner, and for whatever reason, through trauma, through arrest, maybe them being an offender, now we have a non-offending parent with children in a situation, and I'm sure it probably feels alone and frightening. So when, let's say a family comes here due to a trauma that's happened to their child, and that's what we know happens here. So how do they find you? What happens? What's the process that they find you?
Well, when they come here, they come to be seen by CPT, Child Protective Team. And right after that, I come out and I introduce myself to them. And one of the things that I find that's very important when I introduce myself, I say that I'm the family advocate. I'm here for you. I'm here for the family. Just to make them feel comfortable and to let them know that, I'm here for them, and not to feel like I'm DCF or I'm here to, take their child away from them or whatever, because a lot of times they are nervous. And I explain my role, and they are explained. CPT does explain to them why they're there as well, but I explained why I'm here, how I'm there to support them, how I'm there to provide any assistance to them, how I advocate for them, and I complete assessments as well for them,
So you're not investigating the family. No. You're not trying to put a case plan with the family. You're just here to see what needs they have.
Right. If the and a lot of times I'm an ear, listening ear, and I think that's important to listen to them, to hear their story, to hear their side of the story sometimes, and so I provide them with the necessary referrals that's needed for the child, even for the parent as well.
Sure.
If there's any items that they need, personal advocacy, I provide that for them. I make them try to make them feel comfortable, not judged.
Yes.
That's very important. Like that they don't feel judged, that they feel, that I'm here for them. And I could say that at the end of the day, I always feel I accomplished something, knowing that I assisted this family in this way, or I reached out to this family in this way. And it means a lot to them when I follow up, when you call them.
Yes.
A month later, or 2 months later, how's everything doing? Is there anything that I could do for you? They appreciate that a lot. They realize that here at the CAC, we care for them.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if I was in this situation with something happening to my child, I just try to imagine how that would feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps give us compassion to the parents and families that come here, to put ourselves in their shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and to not be punitive and not be judgment, and to have the gift of someone whose only role outside of all of the other government entities that are now involved with this family,
Mm-hmm.
you step outside of that and can just be there to support them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find it's hard them in the beginning for them to buy into that maybe they feel like you are gathering information for another purpose, or is it pretty straightforward that
it's okay for them to feel that way? It's normal.
Yes.
Who am I? I'm no one.
Yes.
Like, I'm this complete, total stranger.
Sure.
So if they want to vent and, at me, it's fine. I'm a listening ear, and I understand them. I tell them, I understand how you feel.
Yes.
But I'm here. Please know I'm here for you. And it is voluntary.
Yes.
You're not obligated. I always tell them, you're not obligated.
Yeah.
And if, you have my business card, if they don't want any help, which is rare.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
So many needs out there,
mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
I give them my card, and they can always reach out to me. But there's not a family that comes here that doesn't get assistance from us. So.
Marnie, I find that you're very personable and very
Mm-hmm.
genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think the families pick up on that. They can get
Mm-hmm.
that sense right away that you have no other agenda but to
Mm-hmm.
see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what you said. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is be someone who will listen
Mm-hmm.
and not be judged and not use that information.
Mm-hmm.
I know families are questioned, law enforcement, questioned by advocates, questioned by, police departments.
Mm-hmm.
So another person to be questioned by would be tiring and intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
But when they find that they're not questioned, they actually have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
That would be meaningful more than anything to me, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to express maybe fears,
Right.
concerns, or maybe perceived wrongs
Right.
against them, that they can do that. And with your vast experience in this work,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to explain the whys behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's scary to have DCF come into your home, come into your family.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen next? What can I do to mitigate this? You have the answers
Right.
for all of those questions because of what you've done leading up to this role. And I find that amazing.
Right.
I don't think someone who just started or just new to this community would be able to support the families as well as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Marnie, what's the main ask? What is the main need? Do you find there's one thing in particular that most of the families that you run across are in need of? And what is that?
It's mental health therapy, mental health therapy. And sometimes, a lot of times, is, personal advocacy. Sometimes they don't have diapers. Sometimes they don't have food or
Sure.
clothing, and we have that for them back there. We have that for them. But the top to me is the mental health.
Do you think there's been a shift that people can now ask for it? There's not so much of a stigma and they feel comfortable now seeking that out. Maybe because the situation that happened, it brings them to the point of maybe realizing that they have some concerns and maybe need some assistance there.
Yeah, there are a lot of families that say that their child does need therapy. And what I admire is actually the parents actually saying
Yes.
they need therapy.
Sure.
That means a lot,
Sure.
for them to say that, and regarding the therapy aspect, there's some cultures though
Yes.
that don't believe in, that there's a mental health issue.
Right.
And so I've come across that.
How do you navigate that?
I said, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
We all need help. We all need someone to talk to sometimes. We all do.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Give it a try. you don't want to do it, that's okay. I mean, it's not forced. Everything it is voluntary,
Yeah.
and just be a part of it. Just be a part of whatever it is, like, that your child is experiencing. If you have to take part in the session sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes they allow that for the parent to
Sure.
be a part of the session, but I do find that now there are a lot of families that are open to therapy, like, for their child and for themselves.
I like that because we talk about a stigma.
Right.
Not too long ago, you didn't mention that. You didn't. People were judgmental, but now I think culture has changed to where we can talk about that. And they probably have not had the opportunity to get engaged with it until they meet with you or a crisis happens in the family, and then they start to realize I could probably do better if I can get some care for myself.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I didn't guess that. When I thought about that question, I really thought it was going to be more of a materialistic need. Because what I like to tell people is, whether you come here for a crisis, before you leave, Marnie's going to check and make sure you have food, make sure you have other necessities, because it's not against the law to be poor.
Right.
And you can get support here. And what I like, I've seen Marnie do this, is meet with a family, has her list of things, and they leave with supplies.
Right.
You're not going to leave hungry. You're not going to leave without clothing. And then, Marnie, what happens next? Do you plug in some other resources after they leave?
Yes. I make the necessary referrals.
Yes.
I make the necessary referrals to the necessary providers for the child or for the family period.
Sure. And that would include maybe clothing,
the
food
clothing.
banks.
Right. Well, we do have a food bank here.
Sure.
And I also let them know that there's more resources out there as well. So I do link them to other resources.
Yes.
I make sure I provide them with other resources. But I always let them know that they can always contact me.
Yes.
If they need anything, if there's nothing, they have a question to anything, if they're not getting a response from the CPI, I always let them know to please reach out to me.
And that's amazing, because I know just working in this work, we talk about so many advocates. There's different advocates with every agency, and sometimes and you lose track of who's who, what they're there for, what you may feel comfortable saying or not saying around certain people. But you outside of that, being whole outside of that, it's got to be an amazing opportunity for families to have that. Do you find they do follow up with you, check back in? And I envision it like this: hey, Marnie, you mentioned, or now I have this problem. Do you have any information?
Yeah, I do get those calls, and I also make the calls as well. Like, there was right before this podcast, I actually reached out to a grandma, and she just to find out like what was going on with the case. Like, is she able to get power of attorney because this child is in need? And so she told me everything. She said, actually, I'm so glad you called. Just yesterday, we spent 7 hours, trying to obtain power of attorney, and they end up getting it.
Yeah.
And at the end, she's like, "Can you give me your full name?" I think she was just touched that I reached out to her to ask her how's everything, and I told her, once you have everything, like the Medicaid, if you need help with that, also let me know. But once you get all of that, reach out to me, and I will make the referral for your grandson so that he can engage in therapy, because he does need therapy. So it feels good. It feels good knowing that, that I care. It feels good knowing that they know that I care. Just put it that I know that I care.
That matters, because there's a saying, they don't care how much you know till they know how much you care.
Right.
And that's powerful, because they answer questions topically, but to reach out personally. And I know you're a professional, but know that they have that out, and that follow up. And a lot of times in this work, we get burnt out and we're just trying to get to the next call. But that follow up, like you said initially, that is more powerful, I think, than anything, because we're all busy.
Right.
But for you to take the time, you weren't kidding when you asked them if they need anything. And now you're giving them some space to rest in it and think it through. And then ask again to gently just remind them that they're not alone, and that they're here. And one thing, I think maybe mistakenly, they come and they need food and you hand them food, But to talk about the entire situation in depth, that was interesting to learn that you're aware of the whole situation. So you knew to ask about that specific detail, the power of attorney, the specific to their case. And it sounds like it was a grandparent that's their family unit. So it's not just handing out supplies.
It's basically wraparound. Wraparound. So it's like wraparound.
That's been your experience. So to bring that here, explain wraparound. That's more like more holistically engaged, right?
Wraparound services, basically you wrap the family around in services. That's the best way I would explain it to my families. If there's any resources, if there's any referral, anything that they need, you wrap the family around in services. That's basically what it is. It's just not one, it's just the entire family.
Outside of the initial trauma that brought them here to us, you are able to engage with the entire family unit and not only bring resources related to the trauma, just general everyday living needs that they may have. And you encompass the family in their needs and work that out for them. That is amazing. Does anything come to mind as far as a success story, something that's really kind of stuck with you, made you really happy?
You know what my success stories are for me personally? It's the end of the day. Every day, the families that I've helped, the families that I've assisted. I can't point out to a family that I helped. Don't want to go too much into personal information due to HIPAA. The family was in a bad situation. It was a domestic violence situation, and they had to leave their home. And we were here to support them in every sense of the way. In every sense of the word, we were here to support this mom and her family. I gave them whatever it is that they needed, gave them the resources that they needed. They didn't even have an appointment. They just came. They knew to come here. That was what was amazing. They knew to come here. And we were able to assist them. We were able to make the necessary contacts to the necessary resource, and let her know that if there was anything else that she needed, she can always come back. We even prayed with her, and it meant so much to her. She broke down in tears, but it meant so much to her, and it made me feel good knowing that, excuse me, that we were able to, because it's just not me. We were able to assist her.
Yes, that just makes us all happy when we know we can do something good and be a little light in the midst of the trauma. So it sounds like, law enforcement issues that we hear about on the news are actually directly related to work that you're doing with these people that are victimized by different crimes, various crimes. They most likely will end up seeing you at some point for services.
Yeah, one of the things, they don't want to feel judged. They don't want to feel like, they're defensive already. So they don't want to feel judged. They don't want to feel like they're being attacked. And I know that's how they're feeling. So it's my job. It's my duty to make sure that they know that I am not here for that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for them.
And they can ask questions without fear. And is it a lot of the questions about the processes? Because this is all new, scary, and overwhelming. I can't imagine that a big question would be, what happens next?
They do ask that question.
And with your experience, all these years, firsthand what that's going to look like for them. Yes.
The process, sometimes it may be longer.
Yes.
And it may be shorter, but I do explain it to them. I don't have the answers. I make sure I don't have the answers, but I do explain the process to them.
Give them in general what they're looking at, because that would be a question for me. What's involved? What have you seen happen? And you have that information for them. So I think that is amazing. And one of the most amazing things is that we do keep things on hand here for families to walk away with. Where does a lot of the stuff we have here come from? Is it different charities that help us out?
There's personal donations coming from personal people, from we
have Christ Fellowship Church,
Christ Fellowship,
Graceway Village does a lot for us as well.
And a lot of families come back and they bring donations. They bring donations. So it's
they've been helped, so they want to help.
The community comes. The community knows what we do, and there's those that are kind-hearted enough to come and bring great donations to the families.
I love that. I know Walgreens is one of our big donors too.
Walgreens
They really supply us with a lot of very important things that are valuable to families. What is one of the things that we are constant need of that you would like to have more, that maybe we can ask the community to help us with?
The diapers.
Diapers are big.
They're
expensive.
Diapers are, clothing for young children, especially males. We do need a lot of, running low on the male clothing for males. Young boys, babies. Yes. Yeah.
That's good to know, because people want to help, but they don't know how.
Right.
So when we express a need, they may have that and can plug it in here to help additional families with that.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful we have the partnerships with the community, with different entities, and incredibly grateful that we have you on board to help with these families and to get the word out, so they can call you to just get general information to help navigate what's next, maybe by a phone call. I want to give out that number right now too, and you'll probably see it across your screen. If you want some information about Marnie's, what she can do to help families, what we can do here at the Advocacy Center to help, give us a call. The number is 772-807-3868. And you can call and see what we can do to help out. If you've got questions, if you want to help out with some donations, please call. Or if you have some needs that you think Marnie could help you with, or some questions about the system, about the processes, please let us know. We're here to help. Also, there's a wish list on Amazon. You can check in there, have things sent directly to us. It's the easiest way to help. We also have the Circle of Care, which I'm a member of. It's $19 a month, and it's very easy. It comes out, it's tax deductible. You will get a thank you from us every month, because it's so meaningful to have that tax deductible donation come in to continuously help support the kids and families that we work with. We also have a couple of things coming up that, if you follow us on Facebook, you will find that we're going to have a Zumbathon in April. That's Child Abuse Awareness Month. That's a big month for us. We want to get as much awareness out as possible, but we also want to include fun, active things for the community to do. It's a hard subject, but we're good people and we like to have fun, so we want to bring some awareness with that Zumbathon that's coming up. We also have another Darkness to Light training coming up. It looks like that's going to be near the end of February. We're going to have the registration up. Go ahead and get in early so you have your spot reserved. This is Stewards of Children training. A lot of entities here in St. Lucie County enjoy this training to help them with their work with families and help protect children in their workplace and in the general community. So we would like to end this with saying thank you so much to everyone who supports us, and that we hope you have a wonderful 2025. Thank Marnie for joining us and all the work you do for the 19th Circuit, the families, and for being an incredibly good coworker that we enjoy having around. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of here at the end. I've known Marnie and I adore her. I do not know her last name. We found out that all this time I had an assumption that was wrong. So there's always something funny behind the scenes with us that we kind of laugh about, and that's ours. That I now know her last name after years of enjoying the company of Marnie. So if you see us, you can tease us about that if you see us out in the community. So thank you so much for joining us today, and look forward to more podcasts coming up with community members. And if you have any questions or anybody that you would like to see us work with or interview, please let us know. Thank you.